Maharaj.
Number of essences.
Over to you, Maharaj. Over to you.
Okay, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Dharma Pranam Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we will start as we are doing with Mangalacharana prayers, and we can do as we do every day. You can do the reading of the translations. I need to be empowered to share the screen. Okay, thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam. Translation, please.
I was born in the darkness, ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission of to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet.
Thank you. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Yes, Kishori?
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatan Goswami, as well as Radhunath Das and Radhunath Bhatt, Gopal Bhatt and Srila Jeev Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Dadadhar, Srivas and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Shri Krishna, along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishakha.
Thank you. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopecha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Ishwar?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. O my dear Krishna, you are the friend of distress and the source of creation. You are the master of gopis, the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Thank you. Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Karipriye. Lakshmi?
I offer my respect to Radha Rani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna.
Thank you. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Neha?
I offer my respectful obeisance unto all the Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desire of everyone just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Thank you. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sunil, you wanted to read?
I offer my obeisances to the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa, and all other in the line of devotion.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for coming for today's class on your Bhakti Shastri study course. Yesterday we read and discussed from the first part of chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge. The first 3 verses are focused on the qualifications and disqualifications for hearing about Krishna. One of the qualifications which was mentioned by Lord Krishna is Anasuyave. Anyone remembers what's the meaning of Anasuyave? Yes, Krishna Priya.
Maharaj, non-envious.
Yes, very good. Yes, so Krishna tells Arjuna that because you are free from envy, you are qualified to receive this confidential, most confidential knowledge. So that's a very important qualification for being ready to hear and to assimilate whatever we hear about Krishna. And regarding the disqualifications, it was mentioned that those who are lacking faith cannot approach Krishna. So faith is a very important qualification as well. Faith and freedom from envy. Then in verses 4 through 10, we read and discussed about Krishna's inconceivable manifestations, how Krishna is within everything and everyone, and yet he is beyond everyone and everything, and he's actually sustaining all the creation. In the same time, he's neutral, he's completely transcendental to whatever takes place in this material world. And then in the last section, we were reading and discussing about those who worship Krishna, the Mahatmas, Krishna calls them in this way in verses 13 and 14, and those who do not worship Krishna, who are envious of Krishna or who are ignorant, foolish, and they cannot recognize Krishna even if he manifests himself in front of their eyes. So, and then we were about to discuss about 3 types of persons who practice some type of a spiritual path, but who are non-devotees. These are described in text 15, and we will continue today from that point to finish this middle section of the chapter. And then we will move to the last 2 sections in which the Krishna compares demigod worship and devotees and reveals how accessible and how beautiful the process of bhakti, of pure devotional service, is. And then in the last section of the chapter, the glories of worshipping Krishna are further explained by the Lord Himself. So we will start by reading from, this is a key memory verse, it's text 14, describing the Mahatmas. Whoever likes to read can read the Sanskrit and translation and purport. Yes, Kishori?
Text 14. Satatam tirtayanto mam yatantascha dhridavrata namasyantascha mam bhatya nitya yutta upasate. Translation. Always chanted my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me in devotion. Purport. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His internal form, His transcendental qualities, and His uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahma Jyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in the different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service, as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That's it devotion. Shravanam, Tirtanam, Vishnu and Smaranam. Remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate end the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental results. To achieve that success, he engaged all activities, mental, bodily, and mortal, everything, in the service of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days like the 11th day of the moon, Etadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great soul, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world. He can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, the great soul. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, very good. So we see like Krishna is describing what are the activities of the great souls, the pure devotees, always engage in different types of devotion service, especially chanting Krishna's transcendental glories and holy names, and worshipping Krishna. And this can be done both in the temple and at home. So there is no, it can be done in wherever you are, whatever country of the world, whoever the person is, it is possible to worship Krishna and to chant his holy names. Even in very difficult situations, it is possible to do so. We have experienced, we have heard that in different parts of the world, sometimes devotees have been persecuted, like in some countries, the government was against, and they were putting devotees in jail or taking them to. It happened even in Russia, in before the fall of the Berlin Wall. There was a big wall separating Europe from Russia and associated countries at the time. And at that time, devotees were being persecuted in Russia, also in other countries in the Middle East and so on. And some devotees were put in jail, and they could, many of them, some of have given testimony, and even they have written books about their experiences. And they were chanting and worshipping Krishna even in such a difficult condition. So there is no limitation to be able to connect with Krishna, even in the most difficult situations in life. And that's the beauty of the process of pure devotional service, of pure bhakti yoga. It is actually wonderful, it is unique. And then Krishna, for the sake of comparing and also acknowledging other types of persons, in text 15, he speaks about 3 types of people who follow other paths of worship. Sagar, you wanted to read? If you like to read text 15, verse and purport, please.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Can you read?
Yes, yes, Maharaj. Janana yajanena sapi anye yajanto mam pasate ekat vena prathak prathak vena Bodha Vishvato Mukham. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. Purport. This verse is the summary of the previous verses. The Lord tells Arjuna that those who are purely in Krishna consciousness and do not know anything other than Krishna are called Mahatma. Yet there are other persons who are not exactly in the position of Mahatmas, but who worship Krishna also in different ways. Some of them have already been described as the distressed, the financially destitute, the inquisitive, inquisitive already been described as the distressed, and those who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge, but there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into 3. He who worships himself as one with Supreme Lord, he who conquers some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that, and he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and supreme worship that. Out of the above, there are 3. The lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monist, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and in this mentality, they worship themselves. This is also a type of God worship. for they can understand that they are not the material body but are actually worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body but are actually spiritual soul. At least such a sense is prominent. Generally, the impersonalists worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The second chance, the second class includes the worshipper of the demigods, those who by imagination considered any form to be the form of the Supreme Lord. And the third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. They considered the universe to be the supreme, to be the supreme organism or entity, and worship that the universe is also a form of the Lord.
Thank you. So we can look a little bit to them. It's three types of other type of worshippers are mentioned here. They are not considered devotees because they worship according to their own different types of understanding, or we could say even misunderstanding or realization or partial realization. So Ekat Vena, this is one of the groups, those who worship themselves as God. Of course, there may be different varieties. Particularly here, you can see the one feeling some type of bliss coming from the light, coming from the spiritual world, the Brahmajyoti. So he's practicing austerities and meditating, and he may be meditating like there is in the Chandogya Upanishad, there is the statement, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So I'm a spirit soul, but he's thinking that there is only one spirit soul. Individuality is a product of Maya, and therefore I am that spirit soul. I am God. I'm the one. This is kind of the mindset of all these type of worshippers practice their spirituality. This is called sometimes the term is used ahangropasana, the worship of oneself as God. So Srila Prabhupada says these are the lowest because they do not accept the personality of Godhead. And they are, like Srila Prabhupada describes impersonalism as the last snare of Maya, the illusory energy. So this is one group. Many of them, they are followers in the line of Shankaracharya on the different branches. And they use the slogan, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman is the truth and the universe is false, which is not exactly Krishna's philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I am the tasting water, I am the sunlight, the moonlight. So Krishna is acknowledging the universe, not as false, but it is actually his energy. Krishna describes it as his separated energy. Okay, that's okay. Earth, water, fire, ether, and so on are described as Krishna's separated energies. We studied this in chapter 7. So Krishna does not say they are false. They are just separated. And yes, of course, Maya is there. There is some illusory perception, but there is a difference between, it's like sometimes the argument that someone saw a rope and he thought it was a snake. So sometimes that this, in Vedanta philosophy, this comparison is given that Maya, the illusory energy, is like that, to think that a rope is a snake. We see it sometimes, I don't know if in Pakistan or if you have like this. Here in Spain, we have some type of pipes for watering the garden. How you call it? Hose? Hose? This. Can you help me? 1 second. I'll check it on the. I'll check the translation in my dictionary on. My Google dictionary. Hose, yes. Hose. I'll show to you. Yes, this is in Spanish, manguera, hose. Can you see this hose? So this is used sometimes for watering the garden, isn't it? So somebody can see it in the garden and may think, oh, it's a snake. So this is comparable to Maya, the illusory energy of the Lord. This is a snake. But actually, it is not that the horse or the snake are false, because the horse and the snake have their existence somewhere in the world. But what it is false is the idea that the horse is a snake. So material energy is not exactly false, but it is Krishna's energy, separated energy. What it is false is to think that this energy is not connected to Krishna. This is what is false, what it is Maya. But if we use it in Krishna's service, then it is perfectly appropriate. So this is about the impersonalist. And then there are those who are Pritakvena Bahuddha, worship of demigods or of concocted worship. Like many people also invent different types of personalities or demigods or demigoddesses and so on. And they worship them to obtain material achievements. So worship of demigods, we will see this when we come to chapter 17, is described as worship in the mode of goodness, in that it implies to follow certain sections of the Vedas, like the Karma Kanda sections of the Vedas, and also to, so that's there, and it implies also to acknowledge higher authority. So this is a step forward towards acknowledging the Supreme Personality of Godhead in due course of time. Of course, both in chapter 7 and in chapter 9, we will read soon some more verses on this. Demigod worship is considered something that it is done inappropriately. So it's worship of God without proper understanding. And then the third group mentioned in chapter 15 is Vishvato Mukham, or those who worship the universal form. Many people, both in the West and also in India, they worship the universe as God. If you go to preach to people from the West, if you speak to them, some people, they don't like to say God, they like to say the universe. So they say the universe as God. This is called pantheism. It's a type of philosophy, seeing the universe as God. Or also there is another panentheism, see God in the universe. That's panentheism is closer to Krishna consciousness than pantheism. But in any case, it's a step forward on the right direction of acknowledging higher authority. Gaitari, you had a question?
No, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. Because I saw the hand raising. Okay, good. So let's, any questions so far from what we read and discussed yesterday and we have been looking to today? Okay, otherwise we can move to, we can read verses 20 through 28. Whoever likes to read can read the translations of verses 20 through 28.
May I?
Yes, please.
Text 20. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juices seeking the heavenly planets worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reaction, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Text 21. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principle of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Text 22. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Text 23. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Text 24. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Text 25. Those who worship the demigod will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and the spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. Text 26. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a water, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Text 27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Text 28. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
Thank you. So this is a very important section of this chapter. Verses 20 through 24 describe the misunderstanding of those people who worship the demigods. There are many people in India, and I think also some Hindus in Pakistan, they also do like that, worship demigods, like um, here in some of the Sindhis in Spain, they worship Julelal, isn't it? You have also in Pakistan Julelal worship.
Yes, we also
Yes,
have.
Maharaj. Most of the people worship demigods.
Yeah, yes. So they worship demigods, and many people they do so trying to achieve material heavenly planets, to live in Svarga, material heaven, in order to enjoy long duration of life, and also very, very pleasant lifestyle and so on. But here Krishna is telling us that we may go to such a material heavenly realms, but ultimately we have to come down again, because it is like going on holiday. A person may be working, earns money, and then save the money, and during the holiday season goes somewhere else for having a good time with friends and family, whatever. And then after the holiday season is over, has to go back to work. So something like that happens. A person may achieve material piety by worshipping the Vedas and by following certain rituals prescribed in the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. But then when the good karma is over, one has to take birth again in Martya Loka. This planet Earth is known as the realm of death, Martya Loka, because we experience death in a very perceptible way. Even though many times we think we are not going to die, or we behave as we were not going to die. Isn't it? We human people, we do like that. We are working all life, earning money and spending the money, trying to have the best time possible, going around our sufferings in the better ways we can. So we do all these things, but we don't think very soon I will die. Life is actually short. It goes very fast. Like, my experience, I'm more than 60 years old. I'm in this body. And since I met devotees when I was a teenager, until now, practically almost 50 years have gone like that. And in very short time, I'll be gone. But I'm not the only one. Like every one of us, our bodies will be transformed and get older. So yeah, it's like that. So therefore, it is considered less intelligent, as we also learn in chapter 7, Kamaistai Rita Kyana prapadyantenya devataha, that those whose material desires have stolen their knowledge worship the demigods. So demigod worship is disencouraged in Bhagavad Gita. An exclusive worship of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's encouraged. And we find this in text 22. It's a very important verse. And maybe some of you can read it. Whoever likes to read, please activate your mic and you can read verse translation and purport. It's very important verse. Kitika?
चिन्तयन्तो मां यजानप्रयो भासते तेषां नित्यभियुक्तानां योगाक्षेमां वहामि अहम्. Translation. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord, such activities are all
We are losing you. Maybe put
personality of the
the
Godhead.
camera off.
Such
We
a
can listen.
devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. But by the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back never comes back to this material condition of life. Shema refers to uh, merciful the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to miserable conditioned life.
Thank you. So Srila Prabhupada here is emphasizing how Krishna helps the devotee who approaches him, to come to him, and Krishna protects such a devotee in all circumstances. If this verse is also used, and some acharyas like Sri Baladeva Vidyabhushan and Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, in commenting on the verse, they have also referred to it as meaning whatever material needs a devotee has, Krishna will carry them. So Krishna personally, voluntarily decides to carry whatever the devotees need, both materially and spiritually. Srila Prabhupada is giving emphasis on the spiritual needs of a devotee, because ultimately the spiritual needs will give us the highest happiness and the highest achievement in life. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is giving emphasis in the purport to the spiritual needs of a devotee. It is actually a very important verse. And we see like, any of you is familiar with this picture? What's the meaning? Have you heard about this pastime of Krishna? Anyone wants to say? Yes, I see some of you are nodding. Please say.
Maharaj,
Krishna and
I think she
fruit
was a
seller.
fruit seller, and Krishna just put some wheat and other things with in his hand and give it to her, and she just take it with love and compassion.
Yes, very good. So this fruit seller, she was actually from Aborigine, uh, Aborigine class, Pulinda class from the forest, very simple um, person, and she was calling out in Vrindavan, yes, if anyone wants to buy my fruits, please come. I have good fruits. Come, come. I have good fruits for you. And little Krishna, he was less than 3 years old, and he had seen his elders coming with bargaining and exchanging products with different people who will come to Vrindavan. So she became so mesmerized by the beauty of child Krishna that she gave everything to him. Whatever fruits she has, she was offering carefully to Krishna. And Krishna had only brought two little, very few grains because his little hands couldn't contain all the grains. But then everything in the basket became, where the fruits were, now became full of gold and diamonds and jewels. So Krishna gives to those who serve him with attention, with love. Krishna gives them everything they need, even more than what they need. And the Vaishnava Acharyas, commenting on this beautiful pastime of Krishna, they say that actually this Aborigine lady got Krishna Prema, pure love of Godhead. So actually that was the greatest fruit and jewel she got. So Krishna will give everything materially and spiritually. Krishna Priya, you want to ask something?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a question regarding this this verse that Krishna says, "I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have." So can I ask, please?
Yes, please.
Maharaj, I have a confusion. Like Krishna says here that I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So if a neophyte devotee and or the one who is trying to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, if he or she having a desire to worship a particular form of Krishna, like say a particular particular deities in particular temple, if they are having that desire and maybe they are putting some effort or they are putting no efforts, but they are just having a desire to worship Krishna. But since years that desire is not fulfilling and they are only having that thing, that they are having the desire, the thing which they are lacking, that they are not able to worship it, and they pray to Krishna and they have desire, but these things like they won't happen. So the neophyte devotee won't become demotivated or want that, like they have their only one desire and maybe that desire also lost. So how can we like say for example, like Maharaj, I want to discuss my personal own experience that I have a Giriraj Shila, but that was not with me. That was in India, and I was like praying to Krishna when to worship him since years. But now the Giriraj Shila is not with me, and the person who was worshipping the Giriraj, she's saying that she don't want to give it to me. So since those days, like it has been a 2 weeks, and I'm thinking that Krishna always says in Bhagavad Gita, I carry what they lack. So the only thing I was lacking, that I wanted to worship Giriraj. But the thing which I had preserved, that was I had, that was desire. Still I have. So sometimes, so that is I have a question that as a practicing devotee, we may think that I have a desire, so maybe I'm not a qualified or Krishna. And also we should remember that Krishna is independent, so it's his choice. Like yesterday we were also discussing, you mentioned that it's his choice. So in this sense, how can we have a faith that yes, Krishna carry what we lack and he preserve what we have? Because I hope you got my question, Maharaj.
But you are feeling separation from Giriraj.
I can't say separation because I think separation is a very big term, and a devotee, like a practicing devotee like me, I don't think it's a separation. But yes, I feel very kind of demotivated, and I have a lot of question regarding this, like that I'm praying, and I have prayed since, and I tried a lot to approach Kriyashila. I went to UK also so that I can go to India and receive Kirashila with respect and love, but I couldn't do that. So that's why I asked even this question to Krishna, that I put some efforts, but it didn't happen. So
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Krishna is testing us for a particular purpose, and it's important that we pay attention to that. What is Krishna teaching me, or what he wants from me? Sometimes he may be making us wait longer so that our desire increases. So that has to be look into each particular case. But when Krishna decides something, that maybe he wants to give us something more, or he wants to make our desire more intense, and then at some point he will give it. If we continue, Krishna will reciprocate in great ways. Is that okay?
yes, Maharaj, it gave me little bit satisfaction, but I think I need to work a lot on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Kashish?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, I want to ask that how to engage ourselves like 24 hours, like in this purport, Prabhupada says. So I think it is very difficult for us, like in a Grihastha ashram, as I have children and also other duty. So as well as I'm trying to remember Krishna every time, but somehow like I forget so many times. So I have desire, but it also makes me why I couldn't remember Krishna every time. So how it is possible to remember Krishna like 24 hours a day? It is difficult. So what is the solution for this?
Yeah, that's why in text 27, Krishna is saying, Yat karoshi yatashnashi, yat yuhoshi dadachi yat tapasesi kaunteya, tat kurushva matarpanam. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that as an offering to me. So it's a practice, it's a gradual process. We may not be able to do it immediately, but if we engage ourselves in this way and with devotion, also like in the previous verse, also Krishna is saying, Patam pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Krishna says, if you offer me with bhakti, and he mentions the word bhakti twice in the verse, if you offer me even simple things, water, fruits, flowers, leaves, I will accept it. So this continuous engagement, engaging everything in the service of Krishna, and seeing also like the family in connection to Krishna, taking care of the family members and doing whatever duties we are meant to do, offering them to Krishna, this gradually will increase our absorption in devotional service to the point that we will also dream with serving Krishna. Then you can make it the 24 hours, because then in the night also Krishna becomes manifest in our sleeping. Through the devotees, maybe not in person, but through the devotees, deities, holy places, or things connected to Krishna. Even in the dream, we will be able to be Krishna conscious. But that's something that we cannot artificially control, but we can do during the wakeful stage, as far as possible, offer everything to Krishna, everything we do. What we do, what we eat, what we give away, any sacrifices, our work, our families, our friendships. Does that answer the question?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Mehak?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a question about that. Why does Krishna always personally preserve the needs of his pure devotees?
Why Krishna? Okay. I didn't
Why
understand.
why Krishna personally preserve the needs of his pure devotees?
Because he loves his pure devotees. Okay. That's explained also in this verse, in text 28, no, 29. It is 29. Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshu stina priyaha. I am equal to everyone, but then for those who are my devotees, I consider them my friends, and they live in me. I'm also a friend to them. So Krishna is equally disposed towards all living entities, but when someone approaches him, he becomes very happy and he increases his reciprocation with such fortunate soul who approaches him. Like in this picture, we see Krishna's friends in Vrindavan, so you can become also like them, one of them. So, or one gopi, and have close friendship with Krishna. And of course, then Krishna, he personally likes to take care of his devotees. It is like, for instance, like why a good mother or a good father will take care of the needs of the children because they love them. It's something natural they like to do. It's not, for them, it's not an issue to do it. It's that they do it very happily. So similarly, Krishna also loves his pure devotees, and he likes to take care of them. Does this answer the question?
Yes, Maharaj, but when we have a material desire from Krishna, then he will give us or not?
He will give it in a way that will not harm us. Krishna is very caring. So if we have a material desire and Krishna sees that, okay, this devotee is not mature enough, will get into trouble, then Krishna may not give immediately. He may give later when you are ready to have it without getting into trouble. Like, for instance, in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, have you heard the Leela of the Lord with Dhruva Maharaj, who wanted a kingdom greater than the kingdom of his grandfather, Lord Brahma. So, great grandfather actually. So he wanted the greatest kingdom in the universe. And he went to the forest to practice penances to see God and to ask him for his material desire. So when he came to the point of really seeing the Lord, he had become purified and his material desire was gone. But then the Lord gave it to him. So the Lord gave him the material desire he had. He gave him Dhruva Loka, a planet which is better than the planet of Lord Brahma. So, but he didn't give it immediately. The Lord gave it in due course of time. So Krishna is like that. It's like, for instance, if a little child wants to take a knife from the kitchen, the mother will take it away from the child because the child is too small, can hurt himself or herself. So similarly, or maybe later when the child is grown up, then the mother will teach how to use the knife for cutting vegetables and fruits in the kitchen for cooking for Krishna. So in this way, Krishna may give the material desire, but only if will not harm the devotee. Krishna's concern is the well-being of the devotee. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Varsha?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a question. A girl, he is inconsistent of her chanting and often feels separate from Krishna, but she still sincere want to return to him. How does Krishna carry what she lack in the stage of her devotion?
Okay, you mean that such a devotee is not yet fixing off in the process, although in her heart wants to go back to Krishna, to become a good devotee. That's what you mean? Is that the question?
Yes, like this.
Okay. Yeah, in such a case, we have, this comes in the next section. We can actually read now. Yes, this was text 29 that we saw. And then this is text number 30. If you like to read it from the screen, if you can see, this is a translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Even if one commit the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
Thank you. There is a very, very beautiful, very important purport. It's somewhat extensive, but it's important. We're going to read it. And if you like to read it, you are welcome to do so. I'll post it. This is the verse and the purport.
Purport. The word Sudrachara used in this verse is very significant and we should understand it properly. When a living entity is conditioned, he has two kind of activities. One is conditional and the other is constitutional. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities even for the devotee in connection with the conditional life, and such activities are called conditional. Beside these, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord, his activities which are called transcendental. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position and they are technically called devotional service. Now, in the conditioned soul, sometimes devotional service and the conditional service in relation to the body will parallel another. But then again, sometimes these activities became opposed to one another as far as possible. A devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome conditions. He knows that perfection in his activities depend on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, however, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some act which may be taken as most abominable socially or politically, but such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if a person fall down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord being situated within his heart, purify him and excuse him from the abomination. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes became snared. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasionally fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. No one should derive a devotion for some accidental fall down from an ideal path. For as exemplified in the next verse, such occasional fall down will be stopped in due course as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, should be considered to be the transcendental position, even if by chance or accident he is found to have fallen. The word Sadhur eva he saintly are very em- empathic. They are a warning to a non-devotee that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly ha- even he has accidentally fallen down. And the word Mantavya is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and rides a devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is disobeying the order of the Supreme Lord. The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. In the Narsimha prana, the following statement is given. Bhagavate cha Hare Krishna Maharaj. I don't know how to read Sanskrit.
That's okay. You can read the English. You can move to the.
And the meaning is that even if one fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities, these activities should be considered to be like the spot that resemble the mark of a rabbit on the moon. Such spot or does not become an impediment to the diffusion of moonlight. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable. On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service can act in all kind of abominable way. Though this verse only refers to an accident due to the strong power of material connections, devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusory energy. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusionary energy, there may be accidental fall down, but when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall down. As previously explained, no one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be misunderstood that he is not a high devotee.
Thank you. So I think this purport by Srila Prabhupada and the verse gives some answer to your question. That if you want to go back to Krishna, even if you may say, okay, I'm not able to do everything, like to chant a prescribed number of rounds or to commit more to Krishna consciousness. That's okay in that in due course of time you will improve and then you will be able to do it. And Krishna will help you to improve. So that's the you or to whoever you were asking about. But so this and actually this comes in the next verse. Krishna says, he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. So, of course, Srila Prabhupada is warning us we should not misuse these verses to misbehave. This will be lack of integrity in using Holy Scripture. So we should be grateful that Krishna is so kind and so forgiving and so helpful, and then do our best to step by step improving in whatever we need to improve. Is this answering the question?
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
Sagar?
Krishna Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. If someone offers food to Krishna without love and devotion, Krishna will accept it or not? Because Krishna in 9.26, Krishna says, if someone offers me to flower, a leaf with devotion and love, with love and devotion. So my question is that if someone offers food to Krishna, but without love and devotion, in neophyte stage, I don't have a love and devotion with Krishna. Firstly, so I offer my food to Krishna. Krishna will accept it or not?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you The fact that you are offering your food to Krishna, even if in the heart the feeling is not so, or out of your own personal humility, you feel, I have no devotion for Krishna. But the fact that you are preparing your food and you are offering to him, it's already an act of devotion. Even if the devotional feeling is not immediately there, but if the attitude is that I want to offer to Krishna, so that means I'm acknowledging Krishna, I'm acting for Krishna, so it's a step moving on the direction of pure devotion. We could say when bhakti is not yet there, sometimes it is classified, such an action is classified as karma yoga. Like text 27 in this chapter, we read it before, Yat karoshi yatashnashi, yat yuhosi dadasi yat tapasasi kamteya, tat kurushma matarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, do that as an offering to me. So that's sometimes called karmarpanam. Karmarpanam means to offer our activities to the Lord. So that's a step forward on the direction of bhakti. And therefore Krishna will accept if, but of course we should do our best to do it with bhakti, then Krishna will accept even more. So Krishna will accept according to the level of surrender and devotion of the devotee. Yet there are examples, like we have the case of when Krishna was invited by Duryodhana. Duryodhana had prepared many varieties. I mean, he had engaged cooks to prepare many varieties of foodstuffs, and he wanted Krishna to go and eat in his place. But Krishna didn't accept that invitation, but he chose to go to the humble house of Mahatma Vidura, who was living with his wife. And even though he was very poor, Krishna was very happy to eat there. And Vidurani, Vidura's wife, out of emotion, was feeding Krishna some banana peels. She wanted to offer bananas, but in her bewilderment, she started to give the peels, and Krishna was eating the peels. So when Vidura protested, what are you doing? You are giving Krishna banana peels. And then Krishna told him, but Vidura, don't you know that I eat the love of my devotees? So Krishna is not so much interested in the offering, but in the devotional intention of the devotee. So I will say that for a beginner in Krishna consciousness, who is offering, even if the feeling, the devotional feeling is not very strong, or even if the person thinks that, no, I don't have much devotion, but Krishna is seeing the action. Krishna is known as Baba Grahi Janardana. He sees the inner mood of the person. So if it is done with sincerity, Krishna will accept it. Does that answer the question?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Gayatri?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, I wanna ask. Sometime a very good pure devotees fall down from spiritual life. If Krishna is giving them everything they lack, Krishna is giving them everything. So why they fall down, or why they just get rid of Krishna consciousness and leave it?
Yeah, the fall down is because there may be different reasons for fall down. One reason can be due to committing offenses against devotees. So a reaction to committing offenses can be that our spiritual taste diminishes and then we may fall down. So that can be a reason. Also, Srila Prabhupada underlines the power of material energy. Material energy is very strong. So sometimes Prabhupada says can be due to previous bad habits. So previous bad habits may affect again a person who is endeavoring to advance in Krishna consciousness. So there may be like different reasons like that, but the good news is that a devotee, like in this verse 32 as mentioned by Krishna, that even if a devotee falls down, if the devotee is engaged in devotional service carefully, then Krishna says that person is a sadhu, it's a devotee, and he's properly situated in his determination. And then in text 31, Krishna is saying, he quickly will become good, righteous, and attain lasting peace. So the fall downs will stop. So fall down may be there due to immaturity, as we mentioned, due to an offense, like that. But Krishna is very merciful. He will give strength and courage to a devotee to overcome whatever obstacles are in his or her path. Is this answering the question?
Yes, thank you.
Neha?
Hare Krishna. Maharaji, I have a little bit confusion between this, that Krishna's matlab always Krishna providing the needs of the pure devotee, but we heard that the devotee is earning them through karma. That what is the difference between them? I have a little bit confusion between them.
Between, I didn't fully understand the question. Can you please repeat?
Here it stated that in 22 text that Krishna always provide the need of the devotees. Then how devotees earn them through karma? What is the difference between them?
Oh, you mean when a devotee goes to work and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, a devotee will do his duty, will do his best in whatever dharma has to fulfill, and will offer the results of the work for Krishna. Like for example, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one of his songs, he says that, "My Lord, I offer you my mind, my house, my family, everything belongs to you. I'm just a servant in the house." So a devotee will offer from the heart, offer everything to Krishna, uh, and will do it as a service to Krishna. And then Krishna in turn, he will give the devotee, will do whatever arrangements that are needed for the devotee having all his or her needs covered. So it goes in this way. Krishna takes care of the devotee, and the devotee is not lazy. The devotee will be active and offer everything to Krishna. But ultimately, we should remember that whatever strength we have, health, intelligence, ability to do the different works, this is coming from Krishna as well. And if, for example, if a devotee is a farmer and has some land and produces food, the water is coming from Krishna, the earth is coming from Krishna, the sunlight is coming from Krishna. The energy of the devotee for working is coming from Krishna. So a devotee is grateful and acknowledges that Krishna is so kind. He's giving me so many gifts. And then he or she does everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, maybe if any of you wants to read from verses 29 through 34, the translations. Some of them we already read, but we can read again. Sagar?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion to is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaisyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings, therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Engage your mind always thinking of me, because my devotee offer
The last verse.
because
Can
my
you
devotee offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
And you very good. So these are, you can see these are very powerful verses. And Krishna is encouraging us to take shelter of him and to develop a deep relationship with him, even if we are in this material world. Like in this text 33, Krishna uses the word anityam asukham lokam. This material world is anityam, it is temporary. We learn about that also in chapter 8. Amupetya punarjanma dukkalayam ashashvatam. So asukham is like dukkalayam. The material world is a place where there is lack of happiness, anityam, it is temporary. So, but Krishna encourages us, become my devotee, and then you will come, you worship me, you will come to me. Maybe we can read the purport. Shobha, you wanted to read? You can read if you like.
Purport: in this material world, there are classifications. There are classifications of people, but after all, this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here, Anityam Asukham Lokam. This world is temporary and full of miseries, not habitable for any 10 gentlemen. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. Some philosophers, especially Mayavadi philosophers say the world is not false, it is temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. This world is temporary, but this is another world, which is eternal. This world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful. Arjuna was born in a saintly royal family. To him also the Lord says, take to my devotional service and come quickly back to Godhead, back home. No one should remain in this material world, full as it is with miseries. Everyone should attach himself to the bosom of the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that he can be eternally happy. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord is the only purpose by which all problems of all classes of men can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness in
Thank you. We lost the last phrase, but okay. Good, thank you. Everyone should take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect. This is very, very important instruction by Srila Prabhupada. And you may remember this. Are you familiar with this case? Who is this? Yes. Kupja, also known as Tamarka. This lady, she was hunchbacked. She had problem, a physical problem. And when Krishna, together with his brother Balaram, came to Mathura, she was carrying some articles to offer to King Kamsa. But she became attracted to Krishna. And when Krishna started to joke with her, saying, oh, started to address her, oh, beautiful woman. She was hunchbacked, so she didn't look so beautiful, but because she was physically disabled in this way. But Krishna was joking in a very smiling way, speaking to her. Oh, you brought all these articles, you should give them to us, to my brother and to me. And she was so attracted by Krishna that she offered everything very sincerely. So Krishna then stepped on her toes and took her by the chin like this and lifted her. And by Krishna's transcendental touch, she became a very, very beautiful woman, totally transformed. So this is the beauty of the process of devotional service. She also at that point, she wanted to reciprocate with Krishna. She still had some material consciousness, and she invited Krishna to her home. She wanted to please him. And Krishna said, no, I have some affairs to take care of here in Mathura, but later I'll come and see you. When I finish my business here, I'll come and see you. So when Krishna came to see her, just by the touch of Krishna's lotus feet, she became totally purified and transformed. She became a pure devotee. So like that, whoever approaches Krishna, it doesn't matter what's the background, what's the physical, the social, the consciousness of the person. If the person sincerely approaches Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate and give such a person the greatest gift. Krishna is very, very merciful. Yes, Kishori?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Mataji Maharaj, that now recently you shared the screen of Tupja. But from Maharaj, I heard from a devotee that Tupja was Putana in her previous life. Putana, not Surpanta, was in previous life.
that Kupcha was a Putana in a previous life.
No, Surpantha.
Oh, Surpanaka. Oh, I misunderstood. Okay.
So
Yeah,
Maharaj Surpantha had bad intentions towards Sri Ram. So how she become Kupcha?
yeah, the Lord is very merciful. So even if at that time the Lord didn't accept Shurpanaka at that time because she was offending Srimati Sita Devi, but the Lord gave her a second chance. In the second chance, the Lord accepted her. The Lord is very merciful.
Yes.
So that's why Shri Uddhava said that where are we going to find a more merciful master than he who gave the position of mother, of a nurse in the spiritual world to a faithless demoness, Putana, who had put poison in her breast to kill child Krishna. And Krishna, he was so merciful. He gave the position of mother to her. So therefore, we should not have reservations in taking shelter of Krishna and surrendering unto him. Bimla Prasad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was just thinking, that came to my mind that we must not ape, like the activities of Krishna or great personalities. So I was just thinking here in the students, there are many doctors who are like physiotherapists. So that's exactly what they do. Like they straighten up hands, straighten up legs, straighten up this. But better not try that on a hunchback woman. Maybe put in jail. No, to imitate Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, Krishna Priya.
Maharaj, I have a question from the text 32. Here, in translation, Krishna says that women are considered as lower birth. Why women are considered as like lower birth? And also in the whole purport, I just want to know the real meaning of qualification in Krishna consciousness. What is the?
I mean, lower birth, meaning this is due to the karma, from the material viewpoint, we can see in most of the societies, women have less privileges. You told me in the beginning, the first day, in Pakistan, you were telling me we have no freedom in Pakistan, isn't it? You were saying that. And this is not only in Pakistan, this is happening in many places all over the world. And in the places where they say they have freedom, many times it's false freedom. It's cheating. Like Srila Prabhupada used to say, when Srila Prabhupada was preaching in the West in the late 60s and the first half of the 1970s, like more than 50 years back. At that time in America, they were talking about the women's liberation. Have you heard about women's liberation? So, and then Srila Prabhupada said, yeah, this is something created by men who want to exploit women. Because they say, okay, women's liberation, then they want to enjoy sexually with women, but then if they have children, and the men go away, the women, they have to take care of the child. And sometimes the men don't take responsibility. This happens a lot in the West. Single mothers, because the many responsible have taken advantage of their trusting them. So like that. So but the point of the verse is not to say who is better, men or women. The point of the verse is to say that whoever takes shelter of Krishna, women, men, merchants, workers, they will attain supreme destination. And the greatest example for us of devotion are manifested as divine women, as the gopis. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was a very strict sannyasi, a renowned, very strict sannyasi, he was praising that the best way of worshipping Krishna is to follow in the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan. Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Yakalpita. So that's the greatest way of, we can learn how to love Krishna from the gopis who are ready to give everything to him. So that's the main point of the verse. It's not about social discussion, but it's a fact that women have some less, we could say, if we want to look from the comparative viewpoint in society, less privileges than men. Isn't it? It's not like that. That happens not only in Pakistan, also in the West. Like I remember once I went to preach in one university in northeast Spain, in Galicia. And there was a professor who was telling me, I saw there was a sign encouraging students that if they were mistreated by a university professor, they should put a complaint. And I asked the professor, what's this? Why is this sign here? And the professor, she was a lady, told me that actually sometimes it had happened that some professors will put pressure on women to have some improper, immoral relationship. They will not present it like that, the professor, but they will say, I will pass you only if you make me a sexual favor, which is very extremely bad from the side of the university. And then she told me that 90% of the cases were male professors doing that to women. Women doing it to men was a very small percentage. So she said some women also has done it, but it's very small percentage. So which it shows the type of from the karmic viewpoint, there are some less privileges. Does that make sense?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Naina?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I want to ask a question. Someone living in a hostel and often prepare food that last for 2 to 3 days. However, she frequently feels that food is not fresh, and because of this, she hesitates to offer it to others. And this leaves him that this leaves her with a sense of guilt. And as a devotee, when she make the food, and in middle of it, the hostite taste the food, She think that she will offer, but in the middle, the host light tested. So she guilt that how I offered the food. So my question is that we should in the guilt or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure I got the question. I heard two. It's one question or two questions. Like the first one about fresh food. The food we offer should be fresh. Then when it is
Yeah.
prasad, we can keep it. If we need, of course, should be keep if we need to keep it in the fridge or in a proper place. But the prasad can be eaten later if because it is prasad and it's this we will read. You will come to that in chapter 17 when Krishna describes different types of food according to the modes of nature. And Srila Prabhupada in one of the purports speaks about the prasadam, that prasadam does not become polluted. But of course it's better to calculate the quantity and to don't cook too much, to cook fresh food for Krishna and then take fresh food. That's best. So,
but suppose
yeah.
Maharaj, that she make the food, and in the middle of it, someone there's a friend. There was friends that are Muslims, and they test the food before offering. So she was in a guilt that now how I stopped my friends that they didn't understand.
Yeah, it means to explain to them that in my tradition, my spiritual tradition or my religious tradition, can explain to them respectfully, so they don't do it again. If she doesn't explain, they will continue doing it. Then she will always have that problem that they will take the food before Krishna takes, and that's not good for anyone. So it's better to explain to them, to say, sorry, I love you very much, you are my good friends, but in my religion first we offer to God and then we eat. So it's a matter of making them accustomed to it. And if they're good friends, they will become accustomed. Even my mother, who was not a Vaishnava devotee, she was from Christian background, but then she will tell me, did you offer the food? She knew I will not touch the food without offering. So they will become accustomed.
Thank you,
That's
Maharaj.
okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Damni?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, my question is that sometimes we taste the food, but our intention is that, like, I want to just check if the ingredients that I have added are they correct, so I can offer the food I am offering to Krishna is perfect. But my intention is that I want to taste the food that add the masala, the salt perfectly. My intention is this, like we can test or not.
It's better to become so expert that without tasting, you know that how it
Sometimes,
is.
sometimes we do, not regularly, but sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it usually the right process is to not taste, to be so. There are many expert cooks, they don't taste and they cook deliciously. So that's best, to become so expert that there is no need to taste. There are some questions on the chat. Okay. I don't know if some of them were already answered, like the one, why does Krishna personally preserve the needs of his pure devotees. We answered that. Okay. And then Barsha is asking, others give hope that Krishna will arrange things to support her devotion. I think we discussed that. Aurat March. What's Aurat March?
Let them explain, Maharaj.
It's
the Women's Liberation March in Pakistan.
In Pakistan, they have that?
Yeah. The Women's Liberation March is called Aurat March. Aurat means woman.
March. Okay.
Women March. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Okay, or concept of halal or haram. Okay, good. Yes, Bimla Prasad Prabhu.
I just had that comment on like what Damini Maji was saying, please, like with your permission. My experience, Maharaj, is like if while cooking you are not attentive, then you have no other recourse but to taste it before offering. Then that's why that thing comes. If one is attentive while cooking, it will never cross your mind.
Yes, Prabhu, that was exactly my question. Sometimes I'm not attentive, like I'm doing my studies, so my focus is like there. That's why this was my question. That
There she goes, Maharaj.
yeah.
Yes,
So that is inattentive service, basically.
Yes.
Yes, better to pay attention. I have seen some unorthodox, we could call them like that, unorthodox devotee cooks doing this, taking a little portion outside to check before offering, but it's not the process. The process is to become so expert and so attentive, and you can cook nicely without tasting the food. That's the best. Okay, good. So I don't know if let's look for next week for Monday and Tuesday. We will do chapter 10, and also Wednesday we will start chapter 11. So for preparing, I'll show you the verses. It is chapter 10, verses 1 through 11. That's for Monday. And for Tuesday will be the rest of the chapter. So you can start preparing chapter 10 and the beginning of chapter 11 for next week. I think there is one more question or comment on the chat. 1 second. But as non-devotee says, the time that you should at least taste, as even Shabri offers to Ram by tasting first. You mean the Aboriginal lady who offered the fruit, took the fruits for Lord Ramachandra? But okay, she was not very cultured. Lord Ramachandra is very merciful and accepted because she had true devotion, but she's not the in charge of the deity worship. And she will train us for deity worship. We shouldn't imitate like that. In her case, it was very sincere. She was an Aboriginal lady and didn't know, but we should not do that. It seems that that's like a Sindhi practice, or to taste before offering. Is that? Yeah, that's the tradition.
You got them, Maharaj.
Excuse me?
You got them. You got them.
But anyway, yeah, you should. I think I'm sure you can become very expert. I remember the first day I talked to you, I think I referred about Hari Narayan Prabhu, this Sindhi devotee. He left this world already. His wife, Krishna Premarupa Mataji, wonderful devotee. She was cooking super feast, big feast. She was not tasting the food before offering. So she was such an expert cook. Cindy, from Cindy background. So it should be feasible. If she could do it, you can do it also. TK? Yes? Okay, good. So we meet by Krishna's grace on Monday, and we can continue with chapter 10. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Krishna
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna,
Maharaj.
Jai
Maharaj.
Krishna.
His
Thank you, Hare
Holiness
Krishna.
Yadunandana Swami
Hare
Maharaj
Krishna.
ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Ki
Jai.
jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Maa. हरे कृष्णा अरे यार ये टिकट सीख लो भाई क्या कहते हैं महाराज जब जाते हैं देन यू से लाइक हिज होलीनेस सच एंड सच की जय दैट इज द एटिकेट हरे कृष्णा इज गुड बट पहले मतलब जय ध्वनि एंड देन फॉलोड बाय दैट सीख लो यार ये धीरे धीरे सीख लोगे सब कुछ ठीक है ओके चलो हरे कृष्णा अपना 3-4 दिन की
Hare
छुट्टी है
Krishna
ऐसे
Prabhu ji.
3-4 दिन की छुट्टी है कोई छुट्टी नहीं है ऐसे लिखो श्लोका याद करो चलो ठीक है
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.